They have shut down people's accounts, and they're doing a social credit score system in China.
Okay.
And they have digital. What they have is the ability to tell you can't buy gas.
Today in China, there are some 600 million surveillance cameras, one for every 2 citizens, able to track people's movements down to the minute.
Every street corner, there's facial recognition, there's digital recognition, there's the social credit system. The social credit system is the sort of highest aspiration of the Chinese Communist Party, to have everything every human being does go into a computer system. And with AI and all sorts of other sophisticated programming, you can know exactly where a person is because he'll have bought something with a credit card or a digital payment system. His car will have gone down a highway. Every kilometer, there's a camera taking pictures of your license plate. They will know everything about everybody real time. This creates a kind of a techno-autocratic system that's unprecedented and with which we've had no experience.
Shalom. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. Good News Translation. The beast forced all the people, small and great, rich and poor, slave and free, to have a mark placed on their right hands or in their forehead. The beast is NATO EUD systems that's run this earth. And small and great, no matter if you LeBron James, no matter if you just a peasant on the street, no matter if you rich, you got money, if you poor, no matter if you in jail, locked up. So this is everybody to have a mark placed on their right hands or on their forehead. No one could buy or sell without this mark. That is the beast's name with the numbers that stand for his name. And this is the mark of the beast, the digital implant, which will be mandated here soon to all nations because the dollar is failing. The American dollar is failing. I've seen some articles earlier going in. More than 110 U.S. banks have already joined the pilot network building Dollar 2.0. Bank of America calls it the foundation for the next generation of U.S. money. Even Fed Chair Powell admitted a U.S. CBDC could help maintain the dollar's international standing. The value of the dollar is losing its power. The dollar was backed through via their military, they swore, which is Esau blessing. So, and you have all these other nations making their own currency. So, and they doing all this stuff behind the scenes, not letting you know. This is going to be a huge wealth transfer because you have these people that's in the know already have certain currencies and programs to know where this money going to be live at. Then by the time everybody trying to catch on, they're going to be, fighting for the crumbs because that's how the power stay in power. They stay in power through the money, the resources, information. These are the times we're living in, but we know the Lord told us not to take this implant. If any man take it, the next chapter, right over 14, let you know you're going to burn up in a lake of fire, which will be here in America. The nuclear missiles hit it. So we are not to take this implant, even though we're going to have to get comfortable being wanderers and sojourners and pilgrims. They dumping the whore. They not dealing with America like they used to. It said breaking U.S. dollar. Recall it's coming to America. Washington just confirmed plans to replace the traditional U.S. dollar with a brand new digital version. If you hold U.S. dollars in any bank account, you must prepare before the switch go live. And this can happen anytime. And goes into this, man, I was watching the movie In Time earlier. If your brothers and sisters haven't watched it, it's on Tubi. And it said, in the future where time is money and the wealthy can live forever, Justin Timberlake is a poor man who rarely has more than a day's worth of life on his time clock. When he saves Henry Hamilton from time thieves, Will receive the gift of a century. However, such a large transaction attracts the attention of authorities, and when Will is falsely accused of murder, he must go on the run, taking the daughter of an incredibly wealthy man with him. So basically, like, they didn't have physical cash. The time was their money. And they had it in this picture right here. You can see it in this, and it's in his forehand right here. Yeah. And the fact that they can track that transaction, that, they can cut it off, and when they run out of time, it's like something inside them make them just shock them out. And that's what happened. So this was implanted in these people because you're not born with this technology inside of you. So this was a movie that came out in 2011, but it was speaking on futuristic times because it's based on the times we're going to be living in. Digital currency. What are CBDs? The central bank digital currency. It said, unlike cryptocurrencies are centralized, stable, representing a direct liability of the state, functioning as a digital counterpart to physical. And they're going to implement this in you because how you going to know if that's your wallet? It's going to have to be with you. And it's going to go down to the C-hip or implant. And that's going to make it seem like this is yours. And we're not to take this device. We're letting it be known. It says CBDCs can be retail used by individual businesses, wholesale, financial institutions for large settlements. They often utilize distributed ledger technology or blockchain for secure, transparent, immutable transactions. It said as of early 2026, this year, right now, countries like Nigeria, Jamaica, and Bahamas have launched CBDCs with over 100 countries researching applying their own. In America, that's what I'm saying. If it happened in all these other countries right that happen here in America, they already got it. It's just they haven't fully made it mandate because they know they're going to have the most resistance with Americans here with this technology. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed behind this. But also with this stuff, it comes down to a social credit score. So they're going to be able to take and deduct money, take certain privileges from it if you're not abiding with the people how they want you to go. I mean, I'm going to show you this little sheet right here showing you how it worked. It said, a game of life. China, which they already have it fully up, 100 operable right now. China's social credit system expands the idea of a standard credit check to all aspects of life. Each citizen is assigned 1,000 points, monitors to judge their behaviors and rated according. So basically, you got to act like a robot and a slave and an animal and a dog, and you'll get rewarded. It says citizen gains points by donating blood or money. So you donate your blood, you get more points. That's crazy. Engaging in charity work, praising the government on social media. So instead of you being up front and saying and speaking on how wicked your government and corruption is, if you praise it and kiss ass, you get points. So you live in a society, people trying to get clout status and want to do whatever. Just like Nicki Minaj was kissing up to Trump. It's like these are the times we're living in because money and power influence people's decisions. Well, if I do this, but I can't do that. But we have to understand throughout the Bible, man, our forefathers was going through things that they had to stand on their faith and not go with the system, man. This is a wicked world we're living in. We can't bow down the knee and accept this stuff, man. We have to stand for something. Stand up for something or fall for anything. Well, I don't know, but we have to stand on our faith and believe that we're not going to do this because you got to think about it. We have frequencies inside of in our body. We're not 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. We're not ignorant, Satan devices. He can put this stuff in and it can like manipulate you and make you start thinking about certain things you don't want to think. Watch that new series of Black Mirror, season 7. In the first episode, I think it's called Common People. That episode is crazy as hell. And she started like buffering and started doing commercials. The implant was downloading overnight. Yes, this stuff is wicked, bro. It says citizens lose points by not visiting one's Asian parents regularly, cheating in online games, insincere apologies for crime committed, spreading rumors on the internet. So basically, who's to say that what they spreading, how you going to say it's a rumor if it's true, though? That's what I'm saying, because they want to always control the narrative and the information war, and they lost grip, so they're finna implement this stuff because it's basically like a digital system. These are the times we're living in. Hope this lesson edifying. I'm finna show you this video about the social credit score. Shalom.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well-behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wenwang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wenwang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiao Wenwang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to zero. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. But he only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.